In which year were the songs at numbers 30, 20 and 10 in this week's chart? Love's Great Adventure by Ultravox, Freedom by Wham, and Caribbean Queen No More Love on the Run by Billy Ocean. Which year?
83.
1 year! All right, it was 84. I'm sorry. Okay, in which year did this week's top three have Do the Bartman by The Simpsons at number 3, Innuendo by Queen at number 2, and 3 AM Eternal by KLF featuring the Children of the Revolution at number 1?
1990.
Oh, it's 1 year out, I'm afraid. 1991. 91, bad luck. In which year did this week's top three have Every Day Hurts by Sad Cafe at number 3, When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman by Dr. Hook at number 2, and One Day at a Time by Lena Martell at number 1?
Oh dear.
5, 4, 3.
78.
Oh, 1 year out. So close. 79 it was. That's very bad luck. In which year did this week's top three have Breaking Up Is Hard to Do by the Partridge Family at number 3, Seaside Shuffle by Terry Dactyl and the Dinosaurs at number 2, and School's Out by Alice Cooper at number 1?
1973.
Oh, it's 1 year out, I'm afraid.
I knew it
No.
would be.
Oh, 72. Sorry.
Okay.
In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, All or Nothing by the Small Faces, and You Don't Have to Say You Love Me by Dusty Springfield.
67.
Oh, 1 year out! Oh, no. 66 it was. Oh, that's very bad luck. Very bad luck.
Dear.
In which year did this week's top three have My Friend Stan by Slade at number 3, the double A-side Daydreamer and the Puppy Song by David Cassidy at number 2, and Eye Level by the Simon Park Orchestra at number 1?
74.
Oh, 1 year out! That's bad luck. Oh, terrible.
75.
73, actually, the other way.
Oh,
the other
okay.
way.
I would have gone the other way.
Very
so.
bad luck.
Okay.
In which year did this week's top three have Walk in the Black Forest by Horst Jankowski at number 3, Help by the Beatles at number 2, and I Got You Babe by Sonny and Cher at number 1?
I think that was 1964, Ken.
Oh, it's 1 year out.
Oh, you know.
I'm clutching my forehead. That's bad luck. Terrible bad luck. 1965 was the right year. In which year were the songs at number 30, 20 and 10 in this week's chart? Stay With Me Till Dawn by Judy Took, If I Had You by the Corgis, and Breakfast in America by Supertramp. Which year?
1978.
Oh, it's 1 year out. I'm sorry. 1979 was the year. In which year did this week's top three have Perfect Moment by Martine McCutcheon at number 3, Right Here, Right Now by Fatboy Slim at number 2, and Swear It Again by Westlife at number 1? Which year?
Okay, I'm working on that. 98.
99, I'm afraid you're 1 year out.
no,
I'm sorry.
right.
Very bad luck. Very bad luck. In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones, The Last Time by the Rolling Stones, and Help by the Beatles.
1966.
Oh, it's 1 year out again. I was sure you were going to get it. No, 1965. I'm sorry. In which year did this week's top three have Zoom by Fat Larry's Band at number 3, The Bitterest Pill I Ever Had to Swallow by The Jam at number 2, and Pass the Dutchie by Musical Youth at number 1?
1981.
Oh, it's 1 year out, I'm afraid. It was 1982. In which year did this week's top three have You Don't Have to Go by the Chi-Lites at number 3, Let 'Em In by Wings at number 2, and Dancing Queen by ABBA at number 1?
77.
Oh, it's 1 year out. It's 76. That's very bad luck. In which year did this week's top three have The Story of the Blues by Wah at number 3, Down Under by Men at Work at number 2, and You Can't Hurry Love by Phil Collins at number 1?
1982.
It's 1 year out, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry. 83.
I forget about the year.
In which year did this week's top three have Sign Your Name by Terence Trent D'Arby at number 3, I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany at number 2, and Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle at number 1?
I will go for 1989.
Oh, it's 1 year out. I'm afraid. No. 88.
Falling.
It was 1988. Okay. In which year did this week's top three have Walk of Life by Dire Straits at number 3, Only Love by Nana Mouskouri at number 2, and The Sun Always Shines on TV by a-ha at number 1?
That would have been...
5, 4, 3.
Quickly.
I'll go for 85.
Oh, it's 1 year. 86. 86. I'm sorry.
Okay.
In which year were the songs at number 30, 20 and 10 in this week's chart? When Will I See You Again by the 3 Degrees, Machine Gun by the Commodores, and Queen of Clubs by Casey and the Sunshine Band?
1973.
1 year out. Only 1 year out, I'm afraid. Bad luck. 74.
No, year I was born.
In which year were the songs at number 30, 20 and 10 in this week's chart? It's All in the Game by the Four Tops, Love is Life by Hot Chocolate, and I'll Say Forever My Love by Jimmy Ruffin. Which year?
Oh, I should know this. 69.
Oh, it's 1 year out, I'm afraid. It's 1970. I'm very sorry.
Bother.
So bother indeed. Well, very restrained. In which year did this week's top three have Always Look on the Bright Side of Life by Monty Python at number 3, Wind of Change by the Scorpions at number 2, and Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams at number 1?
1992.
Oh! 1 year out. It was 1991, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. In which year did this week's top three have I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder at number 3, Agadoo by Black Lace at number 2, and Careless Whisper by George Michael at number 1?
83.
1 year out. I'm afraid it was 84. Bad luck. In which year did this week's top three have Say What You Want by Texas at number 3, Professional Widow, It's Got to Be Big by Tori Amos at number 2, and Your Woman by White Town at number 1? Which year?
1996.
Oh, it's 1 year out. Oh, 97. I'm sorry. Okay, in which year did this week's top three have Sound of the Underground by Girls Aloud at number 3, Year 3000 by Busted at number 2, and Stop Living the Lie by David Snedden at number 1?
2002.
Oh, it's 1 year out.
never.
No, 2003.
Oh, never.
Oh, very bad luck. Okay, in which year did these three songs all reach number 1? The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore by the Walker Brothers, Distant Drums by Jim Reeves, and Somebody Help Me by the Spencer Davis Group.
Say maybe 65.
Oh, it's 1 year out. Oh, painful. 1966. Bad luck, very bad luck, so close. In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? Babe by Take That, I'd Do Anything for Love But I Won't Do That by Meatloaf, and Mr. Blobby by Mr. Blobby.
I think it's 91 or 92.
Sorry, another year out. It was 93, I'm afraid. Bad luck, 93.
Do you think I could just say 1965 so that you could say 1 year out?
You could try.
Right, 1965.
1 year out!
Oh, made my day.
76 was 10 years out. Don't worry. Right. In which year did this week's top three have Wipeout by the Fat Boys and the Beach Boys at number 3, What Have I Done to Deserve This by the Pet Shop Boys and Dusty Springfield at number 2, and Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley at number 1? Which year?
1980.
Come on. No, it's 1 year out, I'm afraid. I thought you were going to get it. 87. It was 87. I thought you were. Never mind. In which year did this week's top three have Bad by Michael Jackson at number 3, Full Metal Jacket, I Want to Be Your Drill Instructor by Abigail Mead and Nigel Golding at number 2, and Pump Up the Volume by Mars at number 1?
Is it 1988?
Oh, it's 1 year out. So close. 87. Bad luck. In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, Sad Sweet Dreamer by Sweet Sensation, and Billy Don't Be a Hero by Paper Lace.
1975.
Oh, it's 1 year out. It's 74. I'm sorry.
Oh,
bad
no.
luck. Very bad luck. In which year did these three songs all reach number one? Frozen by Madonna, All That I Need by Boyzone, and Viva Forever by the Spice Girls.
97.
Oh, it's 1 year out. It's 98. 1998. In which year did this week's top three have Lean On Me by Club Nouveau at number 3, La Isla Bonita by Madonna at number 2, and Let It Be by Ferry Aid at number 1? Which year?
5, 3,
Quickly.
86.
Oh, it's 1 year out. It's 87. 87, I'm afraid. Very bad luck. In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? Shine by Take That, Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs, and About You Now by Sugar Babes.
Was that 2008?
It's 1 year
I was
out, I'm
thinking
afraid. Oh, it's 2007. I'm sorry. In which year did this week's top three have Start by The Jam at number 3, Winner Takes It All by ABBA at number 2, and Ashes to Ashes by David Bowie at number 1?
I'm going to go 79.
Oh, it's 1 year out.
you're joking.
It was 1980. Sorry. In which year did this week's top three have Love in the First Degree by Bananarama at number 3, Faith by George Michael at number 2, and You Win Again by the Bee Gees at number 1?
88.
Oh, 1 year out, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. 87. Bad luck. In which year did this week's top three have DISCO by Ottawan at number 3, Master Blaster Jammin' by Stevie Wonder at number 2, and Don't Stand So Close to Me by The Police at number 1?
1979.
Oh, it's 1 year out! I'm afraid. Oh, it's 1980. I'm so sorry. In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? Chanson d'amour by Manhattan Transfer, Knowing Me, Knowing You by ABBA, and Free by Denise Williams.
1976.
Oh, it's 1 year out. It was 77, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Very bad luck. In which year did this week's top three have Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba at number 3, Men in Black by Will Smith at number 2, and The Drugs Don't Work by The Verve at number 1?
Oh, it's late 90s. I'd say 1998.
Come on. No, sorry. It's 1 year out. 1 year out. It's 97. Bad luck. Bad luck. In which year did these three singles all reach number 1? Flying Without Wings by Westlife, Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, and a double A-side, She's the One and It's Only Us by Robbie Williams. Which year?
2000.
1 year! It was 1999, I'm afraid. Very bad luck. In which year did these three songs all reach number 1? Get Down by Gilbert O'Sullivan, Young Love by Donny Osmond, and Angel Fingers by Wizard.
I'm going to say 72.
Oh, it's 1 year out. Oh, 73. I'm very sorry. Very sorry. In which year were these three songs all new entries on this week's Top 40? Song 2 by Blur, Halo by Texas, and 18 Till I Die by Bryan Adams. Which year?
3, 2,
96.
Oh, it's 1 year out. 97, I'm afraid. 97. In which year did this week's top three have Papa Don't Preach by Kelly Osbourne at number 3, Got to Have Your Love by Liberty X at number 2, and The Tide is High, Get the Feeling by Atomic Kitten at number 1? Which year?
2003.
Oh, it's 1 year out. I thought after you stopped at 19s, I thought you were going to get it. But 1 year out. 2002 it was. Bad luck. In which year did these three songs reach number 1? Viva La Vida by Coldplay, Greatest Day by Take That, and Mercy by Duffy.
2009.
Oh, 1 year! No.
Oh, no.
2008. Oh dear,
God.
the pain. We shared it with
Yeah.
you. Right. In which year were these three songs all new entries on this week's Top 40? Dancing on the Ceiling by Lionel Richie, Find the Time by 5 Star, and Fight for Ourselves by Spandau Ballet.
87.
Whoa, and yeah, 86. Oh, terrible luck. Bad luck.